So one of the main things that I like to do after doing the expedition is try and get all of my augments back, and today I'm going to show you exactly how to do so. So in our creators there is a couple of different locations and there's a couple of different methods that make it a little bit easier to get all the blueprints for all the augments. And right now we are indeed going to start off with one of my favorite locations, which is indeed the testing annex on Dam Battlegrounds. Now the good thing about the testing annex on Dam Battlegrounds is you can really come in on any sort of raid. It can be a day raid, a night raid, any sort of event raid, and you will have a good chance of pulling out an augment in this location. This location is also really good for pulling out medical supply blueprints as well, but the augments are actually pretty consistent as well in this location. This is one of my favorite locations, especially if you get a close spawn to it. I will always go into the testing annex. But the main spot for the blueprint augments in this is going to be out here towards the back in the medical area. This is where I always pull out my augments out of. It's a really good spot. So just once again, come in here, loot up all the containers. There can be a couple of secret containers in this room, so make sure you're looting them up as well. As you see, we got a augment there. Yeah, there is a couple of secret containers that are in this room. They're basically just on the back of the desks that are pushed up against the wall. You wouldn't think there would be a container behind there, but there actually is containers behind there. Now, there actually does be blueprints in them as well, so make sure you're not missing out on them, because you definitely will be missing out on some good loot, either it be blueprints or some crafting items that are always spawning in there. Alright, this is perfect. We got a close spawn here to the testing annex. Let's make our way up. Alright, let's make our way up these stairs here. Now, what you want to do is, what I like to do, is come straight in into the back medical area. This is where the best chance of getting blueprints is going to be. Let's see what we can pull out here now on this one. As I was saying, there is a couple of secret containers here that a lot of people tend to miss, and I will show you where they are. So for the secret containers, you usually want to hop up on the desk like so and check down the back, because there actually can be, like so, a spawn of a container at the very back. You don't want to be missing out there on them containers, just in case the augment does spawn in one of them. As I have pulled augments out of these back containers before, so definitely don't miss out on it. There we go, there's another one. That's why you gotta loot the very back of these containers, otherwise you could be missing out on them good old augments. There's another one hidden behind at the back. Let's see what this one has. No, any augments? Nope. Now, testing annex will be a little bit of a hotspot, considering a lot of people have just wiped. But, like, if you get a close spawn like I did, and you come straight into that location and loot it up the way I did there, it's definitely worth it. Like, I got an augment out of it by just doing it there. And make sure you're checking all them little containers that do be at the back of the presses, otherwise you're going to be missing out. Like, if I didn't check that press, I would be down an augment. Alright, now we can go extract. So this is indeed the first location, is the testing annex on Dam Battlegrounds. Fantastic spot for pulling out your blueprints. Make sure when you are coming here that you are coming into this little medical area, as this is the best spot for pulling out blueprint augments. So if I get a close spawn, I definitely do run straight into the testing annex, come upstairs into the medical area, search absolutely all the containers, including the secret ones that are hidden at the back. Make sure you're checking them ones. As you've seen, I just pulled out an augment from them. So that is the first location. Let's hop into the next one. So for the next location, we are indeed going to be loading into Blue Gate. And one of the best locations here for augments on Blue Gate, most of you probably know about this one, but if you come into the lower section and you go to the security wing, there is indeed a spot down here that a really high chance is spawning blueprints. Now, there is one bad thing about this. So the one bad thing about this is that it can actually be super hard to get there first. Now, you definitely do need a really close spawn. There is a couple of different locations here that you can spawn at that you can get down very quick. Like, I just got one here. We are near the reinforced reception, and we want to go straight down like so. Let's hope there's not a shredder down here. Straight down. Now we want to come out into this room out here where there's a breachable door. Actually did get here first, which is a surprise. Now, I would recommend bringing a barricade with you, because once you get this door open, you can barricade it. Give you a little bit more time to be able to loot up this room. Look, as you can see, here comes people already waiting to get in because it's such a good room for augments. This is so well known, it's so overpopulated that it really isn't that worth coming to. Unless you get a very close spawn to it, it doesn't really be worth it. But this is the most well-known spot for blueprint augments, and people have been coming here since release. But there is 2 more locations that are really, really good. But before we hop into them other locations, I just want to talk about the Blue Gate one a little bit more. So, one of the methods that people do to get the augments on Blue Gate is people will load into a game with absolutely no loot on them. So people will load in with absolutely no loot, and then you'll get 1 free safe pocket. And then how to do it is they will go off where they spawn. As you can see, I've gotten a pretty far spawn from here, so it's not worth running over. So what I'll do is essentially I will just exit, and then I won't lose out on any loot. But let's say you get a good spawn here. You spawn anywhere near the reinforced reception or this little location here where my waypoint is. You would definitely want to be coming to either one of those, depending on which one you are closer to. If you go to the reinforced reception, you can just drop down the zipline the way I did in the first clip, and you will be right beside that breachable door. Now, if you spawn next to this little entrance over here, you can just come down here. You can also make your way down the zipline, and you will be close enough as well. The reinforced reception entrance gets you down a lot quicker and closer to the breachable door. But if you spawn on this side, it is worth coming down here. You just drop down like so. Then you make your way up the hallway, and then you just come right down towards where that breachable door is. So you just sprint down into the breachable room, you loot all the containers, and then you can just easily exit after you've put the augment into your safe pocket. That is one of the ways a lot of people like to do it. Another little tip for getting into this area, I would recommend not killing any arc in the lower section. If you can be sneaky enough to get in and out and leave the shredder and whatever other arc spawn down there, that means that anybody coming behind you is going to have to deal with that arc. So for the next location, we are going to be making our way over here to Buried City, and I would highly recommend hunting for the augment blueprints during the Hurricane raid. Once you've made your way over to Buried City, you are indeed going to want to come to the hospital building on Buried City. So hospital building, Hurricane raid, Buried City. Now let me show you the exact spot where I like to go, where I find the most luck with getting augment blueprints in this building. So one of the best locations to go in this building is down here to the left hand side. Now there isn't a specific area you need to loot up on this building, as it is just really good on this event anyways, but I've had some good luck down this side here first. There's a ton of red containers down the back here that I would highly recommend coming down and looting up. Alright, we're just gonna keep on looting here and see what we can grab out first of all. Oh, first blueprint in the bag. The Safekeeper Augment. Once you know the right route to go around this building, you'll be able to clear it super quick. Like 2 minutes. Oh, hello. Looting MK3, another fantastic augment. One of the really good things about coming in and looting this building during the Hurricane raid is not only that there's a high chance of these augments spawning, but there's also a high chance of players not coming in and looting the buildings because they're going to be looking for the Hurricane caches. As you've seen, I've pulled out some really good augments from this location, if not 2 of the best augments in the game that I got from this location. Alright, we've loaded in here to a Hurricane raid, and I have gotten a really good spawn here right beside the hospital. So let's sprint on in and see what type of augments we got. Look at this guy, he's just going doing his own thing. He doesn't know that all the augments are hidden away inside here. Anywho, he's on his own little mission. Let's make our way inside, get our thing back on. Okay, we're good to go. Oh, there we go, the tactical MK3 healing. We already have it. Let's slide it all into our safe pocket anyway. But once you know... Now, I would recommend, if you're not familiar with the hospital building in Arc Raiders, I would recommend doing a couple of raids in here to get used to it. So that means you'll know where all the containers spawn, and you'll know which ones to be going for. The blue containers are the best ones for the augments. I'm pretty sure they're the only ones the augments spawn in, the likes of these blue containers here. But knowing this building will indeed benefit you so much when you're doing these runs. Now, the Hurricane raid does indeed come on for an hour each time. Now you, realistically, if you get a close enough spawn to this building, you should be able to clear out this full hospital building to yourself. That's if there's nobody else here, in about 5 minutes, 4 to 5 minutes. That's with looting absolutely every container in the building. Now, I have done so. I have done it plenty of times with a close spawn, because I know the exact route to take, and I know exactly where all the blue containers spawn. But if you're, as I was saying, if you're unfamiliar with the hospital building, make sure you're doing a couple of test runs before so. Otherwise, you're gonna kind of be just running all over the place. So for the next location, which is really good for spawning in augments, is indeed on Stella Montis. And all you want to do is come to the lobby area, and on this side right here, there is actually a lot of containers that are very similar to the ones that spawn on Blue Gate. You want to be looting up all them containers. Now, there is indeed also a locked door down the bottom here as well that is well worth bringing in a key if you have it, because there will be a high chance of augments also spawning in that locked room in the lobby area. Let's make our way straight up to the lobby here. You gotta be very quick on this map. Right downstairs here, we're gonna hop in here in this little corner, like so. Downstairs already been looted, so let's make our way straight up. Now, the main spot here is you want to be looting is, it's the room above this one and also the bottom floor. You want to be looting all the bottom floor, the one we ran by that was already looted. So floor 1 and floor 4 are the best spots for finding the augments on, and make sure you're bringing in that key if you have it. As you've probably noticed, all the containers are very similar to the Blue Gate containers as well. So there's another blueprint, beautiful. So don't forget, we also have the Stella Montis security checkpoint key, which is an epic key that can be used to unlock the door on the bottom floor. That is also a pretty good spot for these augments, but all this area that I'm showing you now is a really good spot for the augments. But in my opinion, I have always pulled augments out on the 4th floor in that small room. Once again, once you come into this room, it's all the same type of loot boxes and containers as that one breachable room that's on the Blue Gate. So that is indeed all of the best spots to find all of the augments in Arc Raiders. Now I'm going to throw in a notable mention. I am actually going to show you any footage on this because I haven't actually got the chance to go there and test it. But I have heard by a little birdie that Dam Battlegrounds Power Generator Complex is supposedly throwing out a couple of augments. Now I don't know how true it is. I still need to get there and test it out. I can't see that there being any there myself because of the type of loot boxes that are there, but that's what I've heard. Anyways, that's all for now, guys. Stay safe out there. Hope you enjoyed this bit of content as well, and let me know how many blueprints you have since you have wiped. That's all for now. Talk to you in the next one.